Hi students, today we're going to go over notes for 1.4 in Survey of Algebra. This is on rewriting functions or rewriting equations in different forms. We're going to start with this first problem. It says to solve 2x plus 5 equals 11 first. Then we're going to use those same steps to solve ax plus b equals c for x. So let's start with the 2x plus 5 equals 11. This is a review of what you've done earlier in the chapter. If we're getting x alone, we start by moving that 5. Bring down the 2x. 11 minus 5 is 6. Since this is 2 times x, to get x alone, I would divide both sides by 2 to get x equal to 3. Now we're going to use that same method to solve ax plus b equals c for x. So we're going to get x alone again. Now notice over here we started by subtracting. We're going to do the same thing over here. We're going to subtract b from each side. A times x is now there. These b's cancel out. Equals. We don't know what c minus b is, so we just write it as c minus b. Next, we divided. Notice on the first problem, we divided both sides by 2. We divided by what we want to move. So on this other problem, we're going to divide by what we want to move. We want to get x alone, so we're going to divide by a. And I'm going to divide this entire side by a. The a's cancel out here. X is alone, and it equals c minus b divided by a. So notice you use the same reverse order of operations to solve functions with just letters as you would with a regular problem. Now in example 2, it says solve area equals 1/2 base times height for height. So we're solving a equals 1/2 times b times h for h. We want to get that h alone. Since h is what we want to get alone, the highlighted letter, we want to move everything else. Well, first I'm going to get rid of the fraction. To get rid of a fraction, we need to multiply by the reciprocal. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 2 over 1 because that is the reciprocal of 1/2. This gives me 2 times a equals the 1/2 and 2 cancel out. So all I have left over there is b times h. Remember, we're trying to get h alone. It is b times h. So to get h alone, we have to divide by that b. We have to do the opposite. They will cancel out on that right-hand side. On the left, we have 2 times a divided by b equals, and now h is alone. Now that h is alone, we're done because that's what they wanted us to solve for. For problem number 3, we have f equals m times a, and they want us to solve for a. So I'm trying to get the a alone. Keep in mind on that side it's m times a. So to move the m, we need to do the opposite. We need to divide by m on both sides. On the left, I do not know what f divided by m is, so I leave it as f divided by m. On the right-hand side, those m's cancel out, and a is now alone. And we're done with those problems. 4 and 5 are a little bit different. Now we're moving on to equations of lines and solving for y. This is really important because later on in the year, we're going to learn how to graph equations, and getting y alone will be very helpful for graphing them. So in number 4, we're getting y alone in the equation 5x plus 4y equals 20. We want to start with the addition and subtraction like we do for solving any equation. So I'm going to move the 5x. Since it's a positive 5x, I need to move it by subtracting 5x. The 5x's cancel on the left. So I have 4y equals. Now on this right-hand side, I'm going to put the minus 5x first. We want to get in the habit of putting the x value first. So I bring down that minus 5x and put it first. And then this 20 is a plus. It's a positive 20. So I put plus 20. Next, we want to get rid of that 4. Since it's 4 times y, to get rid of it, we divide by 4. Now, whatever we do to the left, we need to do to everything on the right. So I'm going to divide everything by 4 on the right individually. And I will show you why I'm doing it individually in this next step. The 4's cancel out, and y is now alone on the left. On the right, negative 5 is not divisible by 4. So we write it as negative 5 over 4 times x. So notice it's a fraction in front. But 20 is divisible by 4. 20 divided by 4 is 5. So your final answer is y equals negative 5/4 x plus 5. This form and practicing getting in this form will be very helpful in chapters that we're going to be doing later on. For number 5, we're getting y alone again. But notice there's distributing on this right-hand side that we should probably do first. So I am going to start by multiplying out that negative 2. So I have y plus 3 on the left equals negative 2 times x is negative 2x. Negative 2 times negative 5 is a positive 10. Notice I'm careful with those signs. I pay attention and figure out what they would turn into. Now, to get y alone over here, the only thing we have to move is that 3. So since that's a plus 3, I'm going to subtract 3. I subtract it below the positive 3 on the left. Now on the right, I need to subtract it below the 10. Okay, we cannot subtract the 3 from the x value. We have to subtract it from the other constant. Y is now alone. I bring down my negative 2x, and 10 minus 3 is 7. And now that equation is solved for y. This is it for notes today. If you have any questions, be sure to contact your teacher.